Can you name every single subscription service that you're a part of? I can't. Yeah, I changed clothes. So what? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Now that's incredible. And that's why Matt and I love Rocket Money. It just helps us, we're absent-minded sometimes, even when it, believe it or not, comes to our own personal finances. And it helps us just keep on track better. It allows us to be more organized, and it's fun. So stop wasting your money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/supermega. That's rocketmoney.com/supermega. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/supermega.
Tonight on SuperMega's 9/11 special. Thought-provoking discussion on that fateful day from hosts Matt and Ryan. Appearances from celebrities. And a surprise musical guest. All that and more tonight on SuperMega's first annual 9/11 special.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Today is a very big day for Americans everywhere across the globe. I know this is coming out a bit early on streaming services, but on the day it's uploaded on YouTube, it is the anniversary of
D-Day,
the biggest tragedy on American soil, 9/11. Otherwise known as September 11th, 2001.
Right.
That's a bit longer. People tend to just kind of shorten it. But yeah, today is going to be tough for us to get through the podcast. As you can tell, we're not up in our spirits. There's just a lot hanging over our heads and on our shoulders today.
Yeah, it's like usually you come to this show for like some laughs, maybe to relax and kick back after like a long day, but this episode is going to be a little different. It's going to be probably more somber.
Yeah.
I'm already kind of feeling myself get a little choked up. I didn't know it would hit me, a couple minutes in.
Never do.
But we wanted to pay our respects. It's been 23 years today. It's been 23 years.
Can you believe that? 23 years.
It's quite some time.
That's a big number, 23.
It's a huge number. And we, did our best to decorate the set with what we had around.
Show some respect.
Right. We the Nicki Minaj flag.
It's the only flag we had at the moment.
Yeah, we didn't have an American flag just by itself. It's at the laundromat, but we had this one that has Nicki Minaj on it, so you can just mentally block her out of the
or
picture.
Not.
I mean, she's saluting.
She's an American.
She is, and she's saluting, and I'm sure that she's probably not celebrating today.
No.
This is not a celebration by any means.
No.
But this is the first year for the day the podcast releases falls on 9/11, so we wanted to make sure that we really paid our respects.
Yeah, and to start that off, we'd like everyone in the audience to take part in this, because Matt and I will. I mean, we're the ones leading this. We want to take a moment of silence for all those fallen, for all the heroes that persevered through that day, and just for all the innocents lost. Because it was a catastrophic blow.
I lost a lot of innocence.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's go to a moment of silence. The camera's off us for this part, right? It cuts away.
What?
It cuts away for this part, right? Like the camera's off us.
Oh no,
Luke's supposed to. I'm pretty sure he should. Hey. Fine. Come on. Don't do it. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
I'm a little bit hungry.
Yeah, I know you're hungry, but...
I only had like a protein shake this morning.
Okay. That's enough, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Amen. If you prayed.
And to add to that, I think Luke was telling me that, you know, he sometimes adds text in or does edits when we ask him, but he put his foot down and said that he wanted himself to show some recognition of the day and appreciation and all that.
Yeah.
So he chose his favorite Bible verse and wanted to recite it for y'all. So we're going to go ahead and play that.
Because you have made the Lord your refuge and the Most High your dwelling place, there shall no evil befall you, nor any plague or calamity come near your tent. Psalm 91, 9-10.
Thank you, Luke. That was very beautiful.
Yeah.
And later on in the show, we've got a couple more surprises. So you'll have to stay tuned to see those. But I mean, is that about it for the 9/11 stuff? The intro?
I mean,
do we have to talk about it?
It's a whole day. A lot of people died. A lot of people lost their lives and stuff, sacrificing themselves. So it's not just like a little bit at the beginning of a podcast.
No, I know.
You know,
I know.
It's the whole. It's the whole.
It
It's the whole thing.
No, I know.
The way you were talking, it seemed like, are we done with this 9/11 thing?
I wasn't saying like,
it's
are
a little
we
bit
done with the 9/11
disrespectful
thing for good. I'm saying
especially
like right
since
now.
You're the one who printed out, you know, a lot of the decorations and stuff, and I just thought
that's how you know I'm taking it seriously.
Well, I mean, you can imagine the loop that my brain went through when all of a sudden, like, it seems like you're kind of being a little dismissive.
No. It's okay. It sounded like I was being dismissive. I'll give you that. That did sound dismissive. It was not my intention.
Like I could imagine an eye roll.
Yeah,
and like get this over with.
I get that.
I'm sure that's what a lot of people on those flights were thinking that day.
Right.
Get this over with.
And I just want to say that wasn't my intention. So.
I'm talking about the people that were grounded that couldn't fly.
Yeah. Not stuck in the airport.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sorry. I don't think that anything about this is, you know, not important.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I appreciate that. It takes a very a big man. You just happen to be tall, but I'm talking more in like an ethereal sense.
Okay.
It takes a big man to admit where he was wrong.
Yeah.
So I am proud of you for that.
Thank you.
There is, you know, Matt said there would be some surprises. So we have our first celebrity coming in and to give their thoughts on this glorious day. And we wanted to give them the floor to do so.
This is so insane. America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
While we don't particularly agree with, you know, a lot of our guests, it's still right. It's very American freedom of speech,
right?
To let everyone,
sides.
To hear both sides, and you know, as they say, how do you know an opinion's wrong unless you hear it yourself?
Exactly. So
it's good to have people with these opinions parroting them out. Because I would,
large audiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, it's like later on in the show, there's let me just say each surprise gets bigger. Just kind of like what happened on that fateful morning.
Yeah.
You know, it was just surprise after surprise.
Was the second plane bigger?
Yeah. I think.
Oh, they're about the same.
Yeah, it might have had like some more seats.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a couple extra rows. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, it was actually one of my first memories. Well, no, not one of
You didn't have a memory until you were 5?
No, yeah, that was I guess one of my first like memories that I can it's one of my first historic memories, like memories that is something from history I remember. Because, memories where I'm like just hanging out in my room when I'm like really, really little, that's not historic.
It's more of like the difference between a nostalgic like vibe that you get, because like I can go back to, while I may not remember a specific memory of me playing a video game in my room, in my old room when I was a kid, I can go back to like almost shudder every time, because it's like that feeling, and it's like that shudder I get when I think about this day. Because I didn't, my parents hid the fact from me that anything was going on. They wanted me to be all cheerful, and they thought, 2 planes crashing into 2 buildings.
3.
Well, did it really crash?
Yeah, the Pentagon thing could have been a missile, because really there wasn't. Yeah. There's only one security camera, and it's like 2 frames per second.
Exactly.
They kept it hidden from you.
Yeah, and so I don't feel like I started learning more about 9/11 until I hit middle school. Like in elementary school, I was just like, unless it was, I don't know. It's because in middle school we started watching Channel 1 or Channel 6, whatever the fuck it was called. It was like this made for students news show. Oh, I thought where it was all like other. I think it was probably like early 20s, late teens. Right. That would start in it, and there was an episode on 9/11 that I remember we had to watch on that day, and I was like, I just don't remember any inciting, for lack of a better word, excitement from 2001 on September 11th.
You don't remember going, holy smokes?
Yeah, I don't remember any big, like I've said this. I've said this before. Janet Jackson's nip slip was a bigger like news thing. Is something that I for some reason remember more than 9/11.
Well, I mean, you could argue that they're both kind of like the same level of paramount when it comes to, historical context and how it shaped the world.
Why did she have that around her nipple?
I don't know. It bothered me.
Was it like a sun, like a bedazzled sun?
Something like that. Okay. And
JT, did he do that on purpose?
Justin Timberlake, I think he got off a little too scot-free with that one. Just kind of just disrespectful of him to reveal Janet Jackson's breast.
He worked over and went whoosh.
Yeah.
It was an accident. Was it like Velcro or something? I don't know. Do you think it was just a publicity stunt?
I mean, if it was a good publicity stunt, because here we are talking about it in the year 2024.
And Janet Jackson's nipple was out there for all to see.
It was
all
the halftime
ages,
show.
All backgrounds. Right? Everyone went.
Like, I more jaws dropped than I would say on 9/11 did.
Didn't people get pissed at her for it too?
Oh, I think it ruined her career for
like it was her fault.
Yeah, like people were upset because she's a woman. I don't know. People get more mad at women.
But everyone loves breasts. Sex sells. So
they don't. Well, they do, but the problem is
they do, but they have to pretend that they don't.
Right.
For the kids.
Well, like all of those like older guys that are like super against free the nipple. I know that they want to see some nipple, but they have to pretend to be like, no, that's disgusting.
Think about whoa, look at those bahungas.
Zooey mama.
Anyways, think about the kids.
My
Playboy's under my bedspread. Keep it hidden in the mattress.
Right underneath, right in that crack.
Yeah.
Did you ever find a Playboy magazine as a youngin'?
In the woods.
In the woods?
Yeah.
So you didn't know who it belonged to then?
No, it was just kind of like a ripped up kind of like page out of a Playboy.
Damn, someone had some fun out there then.
Oh, yeah.
Like someone took it out in the woods because they knew that was a secluded location, and they maybe they blasted some rope.
Maybe they did. I've heard it's kind of like a thing though of like people finding Playboy out in the woods for some reason.
I mean, the woods is the quintessential spot to look at Playboy
and masturbate.
Because
you got poison ivy for cleanup.
Exactly.
You got some dirt that you could get tangled in your butt hairs.
Yeah, well, if you're Well, yeah, I mean, you could just sit on the ground and remove your penis through the unzip your jeans and pull your penis through the zipper.
No, but why wouldn't you just?
Well, that's so you don't get dirt all over your rump, your rear end, you know. But then I see you.
The zipper might catch a little of
exactly.
It might be a little uncomfortable, get a little rash.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. So I think that Playboy is one of those things that I just completely lost my train of thought.
And
or I guess I could say my plane of thought. Was that poor taste?
Let's ad read. We'll go to ad reads real quick.
Let's go to ad reads.
We need to actually talk about like you talking about like historical events in a very like nonchalant, kind of casual, like nihilistic, almost like sense, almost like you don't give a shit about. Can you name every single subscription service that you're a part of? I can't. Over 74% of people that have subscriptions to things just forget about them. And that's where Rocket Money comes in. Rocket Money organizes it so you can see all of your subscriptions all in one place, so none of them fly by undetected. Yeah, I changed clothes. So what? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money also helps you out by notifying you when the price of a subscription goes up. Whatever it is, Rocket Money's there to help, whether it's just trying to help with your personal finances, whether you're trying to save for a new home, whatever it is. Rocket Money is there to help. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Now that's incredible. And that's why Matt and I love Rocket Money. It just helps us, we're absent-minded sometimes, even when it, believe it or not, comes to our own personal finances. And it helps us just keep on track better. It allows us to be more organized, and it's fun. So stop wasting your money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/supermega. That's rocketmoney.com/supermega. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/supermega. Welcome back, everyone. I hope we're all getting through this okay. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's a tough day.
Yeah.
For all of us, unless maybe you're not American, then you don't have the right to be as sad. But
because it didn't happen
to you
on your home soil.
Yeah,
it happened maybe to the greatest and most powerful friend you've ever had, but it wasn't you.
Exactly.
The greatest, most powerful friend being America.
Yeah.
Right. Just making sure. I did put together a little commemorative slideshow. I pitched it over to Luke for today. So I think now is the perfect time to go ahead and play that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Look how clear that shit is. I just took a piss, and you can't even tell. I know, it's fucking insane. I've been hydrating. That
a bit of a mix-up there.
I just feel like, if I sent him the wrong video, it's very obvious. He could have just told me, and I could have sent him the right one, because I worked on it all night.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious that that's not the right video, but he doesn't even question it, because like in his head it's like, oh, this is not the video.
Yeah,
but he
has nothing to do with. No, it has. It's fine. It's fine. We'll save it for next year.
Really?
Maybe.
You worked so hard on it.
I know.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well. Okay. There's
more.
Actually,
sorry. I'm sorry. I work so hard on it. Here it is. Thank you, Daddy. I love it. I miss your musk. I miss how much you stink. I wish I was there, and I wish I could get a good big old whiff of you. And thanks again. I love this. I love it. Thank you. That one seems more intentional. Actually.
Yeah, that one seems like almost like he's
purposely
mad at us. So he's
me specifically.
But that it bodes bad on him. So I don't.
And it
want
looks
you
bad on you as well. It's your show too.
Well, yeah. But I don't want.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, I just want to move on. There's today is not about Luke. It's not about us. It's about something bigger.
2 buildings.
2 big buildings. Big buildings
that became one big building.
Yeah, they did. They went like 2 cells.
That became a crater and a big building?
Well, they became 2 craters and then became one. Oh, okay, the memorial. Yeah.
I mean, how else would you describe that? It's the 9/11 crater.
The memorial it's just the 9/11 hole. It's like the 9/11 crater, the 9/11 hole.
Have you been to the crater? The
what?
9/11 memorial crater?
It's a cool spot. No, cool's not a good word to describe it, but like, you know what I mean. It's like it's a very well done memorial.
You know, it's like those memorials you and I run and skip through, the ones with all those white stones that are up. There's like thousands of them. We skip through those fields.
Oh yeah, it's lots of fun. You know, we played this game where you try to kick over as many as you can.
They're really hard to kick over.
I always got a couple though.
I guess they're crosses, not stones, right? No.
I've seen they're
the white
little white.
Was it for Vietnam?
It's for a lot of
World
wars.
War. It's for just wars.
Is it just for? They're symbolic though. They're not like actually where people are buried, right?
Yeah, I think it's just symbolic. It is more symbolic. Yeah, they also have the memorial with like 9/11. They have everyone's name. They have with several wars. They'll have a bunch of people's names. Where I love that it's just like all it takes is a shiny piece of rock to have people go, "Thanks for killing my boy. Thanks for killing my 16-year-old son."
You know, I think that you and I would have had. I've said this before. I think we would have had, not a good time, but I think you and I in a Vietnam platoon together.
You would have been the guy with glasses with tape.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking.
The center and shit. You'd have your helmet with like the little radio wire. You'd be calling stuff in. I'd be the guy with like the sleeveless with the ammo belt going in a X pattern with the big light machine gun.
I'd have like a
I'd be
playing
shooting
card.
rice paddy.
I'd have
just like in the movie, like the visuals that I think of when I think of Vietnam. That's what I was trying to describe. I wasn't describing anything that I viscerally.
What would our nicknames be? Because they always had nicknames like Screwball or Cornstarch or.
What about and?
Can't go to Ed.
I just thought because we're in Vietnam, it made sense to.
It's really tough doing a serious episode like this.
Yeah, it's not in our wheelhouse for the most part. Yeah, I agree.
Don't repeat that joke though. Okay. I know you're going to be tempted
a
to tell it
legitimate
again.
Suggestion, and I think my brain was going much faster than my moral compass was.
Well, you weren't being funny?
My brain was, my moral compass was lagging a bit behind.
Sure.
And it just came out before the moral compass could,
prematurely,
before it could take the chloroform and silence that
right.
son of a bitch. But yeah,
I mean, I think we would have still, regardless, had a good time.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry. I don't want to get too far in. We have our second guest surprise.
Yep.
So here they are.
Hey, SuperMega Show, man. I heard that you're a 9/11 survivor. Hey, congratulations on that. You did your fucking thing. And man, fuck whoever caused 9/11. They're not no island boys. They're pieces of shit. I don't wish them nothing. They should fucking go to hell. Anyways, keep on going, bro. You're that guy, man. You're an island boy. You really like that, bro. I couldn't even do that. I'm gonna make you an honor island boy. Love you, brother.
Well, that was nice.
That was very nice. What is it? South Park has that famous joke where it's like, tragedy can be funny. What is it? 22 and a half years.
Like 23 years, 22 and a half. Yeah, something like that.
That point has passed for 9/11 now, technically. But I just want to put it out there that we wouldn't do that. I remember I got picked up from school early. And my mom driving home, listening to the radio, tears in her eyes. And then I just remember being at home and my mom and dad watching the television. And I was in the living room. And my mom was crying.
That sucks.
I looked at my mom and I said, Ruth Conda forever. And
fuck yeah.
It made her wipe the tears from her eyes. She stopped crying and the day was saved.
What an incredibly heartwarming story. Thank you, Matt Watson.
But what is your specific memory of the 9/11 day?
Remember, I don't have any because it wasn't a big deal to me until I saw more stuff like later on in like middle school.
Oh, so you didn't? You
I'm
don't
probably
even,
sure I knew about it. Like I was probably like, that's crazy.
Do you have any?
But
did you have any inkling of what was going on? Because you were what, 7?
I don't know. My brain just goes right to middle school watching Channel 6 as being
you're
like,
what?
yeah, we see like George Bush getting the news, and I'm like, damn, this was a lot more serious than I had originally thought.
Yeah.
I thought someone just flew some planes into some buildings.
You know, it's
I guess that's not a very popular thing that happens.
and now the president even knew about it. Okay, I guess it is a big deal.
Probably when I was younger, you still learn like very basic American history. So, in my head, it's probably like there's been like atomic bombs and wars. There's been like fucking dogfights and kamikaze pilots. There's been U-boat shit. I just feel that, like, for me, it was, like, not as big of a deal because, I don't know, because it was, like, compare, like, the atom bomb to 2 planes being flown into 2 buildings in a city. Yeah, as a kid, I don't think I really knew the gravity of everything. It was just, like, another event, but it wasn't as big an event as, like, other attacks that I have heard about before. So as a kid, I'm just like, whoa, okay, that's no.
Also, I just don't think any 5 or 7-year-old is going to really
think about it too hard.
Grasp the gravity of such a historical event. What I remember is after that day, I just remember like, I wish I remembered more like immediately after. My parents always said this, and I've heard this too, that it's like right after 9/11. There was like a period where everybody in America was like
came together.
They were like friendly with each other, and everyone was one, and everyone was rocking American flag stuff.
I did when I was a part of a youth group. We did this thing where you get someone, what is it called? Something bear or white elephant. It's the mystery gift thing.
Yeah, white elephant.
Yeah, where you get people like a gift or whatever. We did white elephant. And my gift that I chose was I went to Lifeway. Is like a Christian store where they sell like DVDs and Bibles and like prayer books and all that shit. And I got a documentary that was made about the cross beam that stood after 9/11. I love just like after the ashes and the bodies and stuff has been carried away and like all that carnage is done, like people's eyes go, God was there looking out for us. God was really there. It almost seems like a calling card. Like that's God's Joker calling card, and we misread it.
See, I did this.
God strikes again.
like I mean, he creates this horrible event, and then people are like, he was there that day, and he's like, no, that was a bad thing.
That was me. I'm trying to take credit for it.
That's a very common thing with things burning down.
Dude,
my church burned down growing up, and the cross, like there was a big cross beam that remained. I don't remember if it was the actual giant cross or just a beam that remained. And I remember everyone was like, "Oh my God, see, like the Lord burned our church down, but here, look at how beautiful this is." And I feel like maybe when a building burns down, I feel like when you build a building, things intersecting is pretty common. Mm-hmm. So when something burns down, sometimes you might have that left over.
Well, here's a lesson, Matt. What supports horizontal beams?
Don't tell me.
What would help support horizontal beams?
Horizontal?
If, say, a horizontal beam isn't just going to stay floating there, right?
Vertical beams.
And the cross was made. So yeah, you're right. So it's very much like of course, like if some wreckage is going to be left, it's going to resemble that of a cross probably because of the way buildings are just built.
Right.
I'm just thinking of, could you imagine on that day if it was big news? Like fuck, it sucks in terms of after 9/11, there was a lot of fun xenophobia There was
a lot of Islamophobia, a lot of very heavy anti Arab, and everyone was cool with it.
It became ingrained. I would say a lot of major villains in movies and shows became rich Arab bad guys.
Yeah.
And then someone like my cousin who, thank God my dad is a whitey, but unfortunately my cousin's parents didn't have a white in there to help him out.
Really?
So he got a lot more flack.
Oh, did he get bullied?
Yeah. He was a brown kid that people, were they in the words of Kendrick Lamar, all the whiteys went, he not like us, and then bullied him.
Yeah.
For me, it was only if I ever mentioned that I'm somewhat Middle Eastern Arab. My mom,
right.
The usual comment would be, "Oh, you're part terrorist."
Right.
But because I'm not visually
Yeah.
I didn't get any sort of thing.
Our friend Waleed, he's talked about a little bit how when growing up after 9/11 in a public school system, pretty brutal.
Because think about it, we lived in South Carolina, and with Waleed, it honestly doesn't really matter where you live.
Yeah,
I guess
if you're in America after 9/11.
Yeah, it's because of, look, you gotta love America, very patriotic, but there is that whole thing where parents teach their kids, and the generational cycle of racism and prejudice just continues. So the kids at school are essentially just repeating what they hear on Fox News that their parents are watching, or what their dad is saying. And you look up to your parents, that they're infallible at that age.
Yeah.
So you take everything they say as fact and true. So you can't get mad at kids for being little shitheads. I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to how they were raised and who they are around and the environment they're in.
More so speaks on their parents.
Yes.
Or I don't know. Well, not necessarily. I feel like it was so widespread at the time that even if a kid's parents were staunchly against that type of stuff, they'd hear it at school, and they would also.
It's just kind of an other factor where it's
Yeah.
I want to be a part of the group think.
Yeah.
It feels good to be a part of the group think. When you're in a big mob with a bunch of people, doesn't it feel good to be right?
Yeah, it does feel really fantastic to be amongst the mob with a burning torch and pitchfork.
Yeah, you get to forget all about your sins and focus on the sins of someone else.
Exactly, and it's pretty damn epic. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't mean to swear.
No, it's okay. It's okay. How do you think? Do you think? I don't know. I'm thinking of the different universes, and I'm almost jealous we don't live in the universe where at the end of 9/11, instead of a cross standing there, there's a Joker calling card. They're he leaves a little tape recorder. Gotcha, Bush.
There had to have been, amongst the wreckage, just because of the size and how many people there were, there had to have been one piece of Joker memorabilia that maybe someone had in their office that survived.
As a cover-up, George Bush says the Riddler was responsible because they couldn't find out.
We're gonna get the Riddler. Now watch this drive.
Imagine the Riddler leaving riddles in the wreckage. The wreckage is spelling out certain things.
There's different letters that are still standing.
9/11 would just have been a lot more entertaining if it happened in a superhero universe.
Yeah, right. Imagine the plane,
Superman coming in,
and he stops with one hand. He stops the plane in midair before it hits the building.
And then he kind of looks at the terrorist like this, and the terrorist goes, "Oh, what have I done?" And he learns his lesson. It's a Saturday morning cartoon.
What have I become?
Spider-Man, swinging around. Wait a second. I think. Hold up. I might be wrong.
Are you talking? Are you remembering a memory of Spider-Man and 9/11 having something to do with each other, as an animated thing?
Here's Spider-Man in the wreckage of 9/11.
Damn, that's canon?
Yeah, apparently in Amazing Spider-Man issue 36, stand tall. Only madmen could contain the thought.
Don Draper?
Execute the act. Fly the planes.
Okay, so 9/11 did happen in the Spider-Verse.
It did happen. I remember there's like this thing where even like all the villains of Spider-Man or maybe of Batman were just like, we're bad, but even we're not that bad. Like it was, hold up. I gotta find this.
It is funny, like a lot of media did, like, I would say real life crossovers after 9/11 where to show patriotism and like support. So you had a lot of stuff like that.
I'm gonna see if I can find it because I have some odd. Okay, wait. During 9/11, many villains were seen at the World Trade Center as well, such as Dr. Octopus, Kingpin, and Magneto, simply standing there.
Wait, really?
Dr. Doom was seen crying, a very rare occurrence.
This happened?
Yeah, they were there in the. Okay, here's the panel, and we'll show it for the people watching, and I'm gonna read it. So it has Dr. Doom. I don't know. It has a bunch of villains. There's Dr. Doom. There's Kingpin, Magneto, and it's because the story of humanity is written not in towers but in years.
Okay, that's a stretch.
Am I reading this? Sorry, it's such low quality. Oh my god. In the common coin of blood and bone, in the voice that speaks within even the worst of us, and says this is not right, because even the worst of us, however, scarred, are still human, still feel, still mourn the random death of innocence. So yeah, it has Dr. Doom, like, even we as villains cry for the innocent, even though all the villains do kill many innocents
He's going
in their runs.
You know, we might be bad, but
we're not that bad.
This is fucked up.
We're not terrorists.
I mean, it was a pretty unseen level of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
Magneto, Dr. Doom, Dr. Octopus, they're all terrorists. They've all committed acts of terrorism.
100%. They're classified. The FBI classifies them as terrorists.
Yeah, you can go look it up too. Dr. Octopus's rap sheet is just fucking insane.
Dr. Octopus, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's
firing his laser.
Yeah, he's firing his laser, dude. I do remember seeing my uncle was really
My uncle.
What, dude?
Sorry,
this is cousin Forrest's dad I'm talking about.
Oh.
So show it some respect, okay? I don't know. He liked a lot of I guess conspiracy theory stuff when I was a kid. So I was kind of introduced to a lot of political stuff through that. Like I remember at cousin Forrest's house with cousin Landon. His dad showing me like on ჯʀᴏᴛ and E-Bomb's World, like, you know, the cartoons of like George Bush looking like a buffoon and laughing. So like a lot of my early exposure to like that era was because of stuff on the internet like that my uncle showed me. But I remember seeing videos where it'd be like the devil's face spotted in the plume of smoke.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, the Antichrist, Obama's face.
Yeah, if you actually go back and watch the footage, you can see Obama's face is visible in the smoke at one point
before he became a nominee.
It's called pareidolia. It's when the brain has a facial recognition system,
and it's a survival thing. Because seeing another face is danger.
And your brain is always trying to recognize things as faces. So sometimes you see faces where there are none. Your brain's putting information together. That's why sometimes you look at a car and you're like, that car, the headlights and the bumper, it looks like a face. You know? But I do think that was the devil's face in the clouds. If you know what I'm talking about. You've seen the specific one?
I know what you're talking about.
It is pretty... Well, I remember watching that when I was like 10 and being like, oh my God.
Dude, I remember watching like George Bush is the Antichrist proof.
Yeah,
shit like that, like in high school that was out. I think even when I was in high school, you know, the Obama Antichrist shit was coming out too, where it's like I can't remember, but they would like mix numbers of his birthday with like a Bible verse and be like,
Yeah.
see, look.
It'd be like, see these 3 numbers that are in his birthday? If you flip them around backwards and then divide each one by 3, that's a number that's in the Bible that means evil.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Exactly.
There's a lot of 9/11 conspiracies out there
There are.
that we did 9/11 ourselves.
There
one of
is.
them. With controlled explosives.
That is a real big one.
I mean, the famous quote, jet fuel
Can't
cannot
melt
melt
steel
steel
beams.
beams.
Man,
Which I believe it can.
it can, yeah. Or if it can't, it can at least really weaken the structure of a
Yeah.
steel beam, you know?
You're thinking of like molten magma with
Essentially,
steel
yeah.
beams.
Like, it's going to weaken it regardless if it doesn't melt it. Man, dude, take me back a decade to 2014 when I was a freshman in college. Jet fuel and steel beam memes, so hot, dude. I was making those left and right.
Were you? Were you posting them?
Yes, I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Where? Like, Icon has cheese.
No, not like I was like sending them amongst friends.
Okay.
Like, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Man, good stuff, man. The memes
Maybe
of
it can't.
2014.
I'm not a scientist.
We could test it in a future, like maybe next year's special. We can have like a steel beam and.
Did Mythbusters ever do a 9/11 episode?
I don't think they touched.
We
that.
try to see if we can melt steel beams with jet fuel.
They rebuilt Tower 7, and they tried to figure out if
Could the
debris-
falling man have survived?
They did test that, and the answer was no.
We jump out of a 50-story building and see if it's possible. They use the story of like that woman who survived like a 3,000 feet up in the air plane crash.
They think that it's possible because of that, but like Jamie's failing to realize that it's because she was in the tail fin of the plane that was spiraling, so it was slowed down.
Still though,
Pretty fucking crazy.
imagine your memory. I'm sorry to jump to this story. It's still like one of the most insane stories. Imagine being conscious of your plane ripping in half, like spinning, losing consciousness, and then waking up in like the tree of an Amazon rainforest.
Yes, and I just want to, for the record, it was not 3,000 feet. It was 33,000 feet.
33,000
which is
feet.
even crazier. 10 kilometers. Like, I'm just like, I'm going to die. Like, 100%, there's
You have
no
to
way I'm
accept
living.
it. But she woke up, sole survivor.
Serbians are built different. She was Serbian.
Is there a Mark Wahlberg movie called Soul Survivor?
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. I read the book while I was in Puerto Rico.
Damn, dude. Mm-hmm. Did they hand it to you at the airport, like through customs? Like, you got to read this while you're here.
No, I was just reading it.
I saw
don't
the
know
movie.
why. I don't know. It was a interesting read. I think there's like controversy about like the accuracy of some
Yeah.
of the things, but
Well, there was that period where there were a lot of like patriotic Middle East military movies, like Lone Survivor, Zero Dark 30, a bunch of other ones.
Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker.
That was 2012.
What-
Was Hurt Locker 2012? That won the Oscars. The year that it came out.
I watched Lone Survivor with Dale, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know if I still would now. I mean, it's been over 10 years, but
You know something I haven't seen, and I know you haven't seen? Nick Cage's World Trade Center.
dude, we gotta watch it.
For Uncle Sleepover.
Uncle Sleepover, we have to. Like,
Whose turn is it to choose a movie? My turn. No, your turn.
My turn.
I chose RV. I'm so sorry about that.
no, it's all right, dude.
People seem to like RV.
People really liked RV, like as a movie, not So when we said that it's like new Uncle Sleepover episode RV, because we really tore into it, and everyone in the comments was like, "This was my favorite movie growing up." Yes,
I cannot wait.
I'm like, well, but I need you to answer one question for me.
Just one.
What brought down Building 7? We'll answer that right after these ads.
All right. We're back. And we got a little surprise for the visual watchers, of course.
Yeah. Audio listeners are unfortunately going to have to just kind of
We'll commentate.
You know what?
We normally try to do. We had some submissions. You guys have been very supportive, and I'm kind of blown away by the support. Like, honestly, y'all sent in some fan art for the quote unquote holiday. Holiday makes it sound so cheerful. I know,
like 9/11 special.
But for the 9/11 special, or the 9/11 podcast special.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's put on some music and let's
do a little slideshow.
Yeah,
and we'll react to some of these drawings you guys did. So
here's the first one.
Wow,
Ooh.
That's really good.
It really captures the cityscape.
Mm-hmm.
This one. There's a lot of, you can tell that the themes are.
I like the colors
of loss.
Yeah, 100%.
And the colors really, I think help that theme.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see the next one. Okay, look at that. That's not as good as the other ones, but it's still good. Everyone is an artist in their own way.
Yeah.
Maybe see what we got next.
Okay, Luke. This was supposed to be a serious. Okay, just cut back to us and cut the music.
Luke, there's times when it's acceptable to do jokes, and there's times when it's not acceptable to do jokes.
And I like the bit. I get it.
It's funny.
You're not expecting it, and then you hit us with a nana boo boo and a neener.
Yeah,
that's.
It's very funny, I will say, but it's just the time and place.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for everything, and
this is maybe the one episode where you shouldn't be doing that.
This is like the one episode where jokes are taking a backseat.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss. I mean, he'll see this in editing it, but it's frustrating, very frustrating.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little thrown. It's fine. I think if we just come back in with the right energy.
Yeah. Just give me. Let me take a sip of my Propel.
Mm-hmm. What flavor?
Black cherry. This is black cherry Propel.
Ooh. Oddly enough, that's the name of this guy I've been seeing.
Black cherry Propel.
No, just black cherry.
Oh. Wait. The guy from the Leather Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but
I've heard a few stories about black cherry.
Yeah. I mean, of course, like, we're both looking for nothing serious. It's just all in good fun.
Well, yeah, and I've heard it is good fun with him, right?
God, dude, I like, if I could tell you about more about the tragedy that 9/11 truly was, I would be here all day crying.
Yeah, and actually, I while we were going to commercial break, which, by the way, we're in the last segment of the show, but there are still some more surprises in store tonight. But I pulled this up, and I just wanted to grab a couple from here. It's 20 facts you may not know about 9/11. I searched 9/11 fun facts. I didn't mean to. Just fun fact. I wasn't thinking of like the verbiage like being fun. It's just what you call lesser known trivia.
Yeah, and you can't have a special episode of something without last minute ditch fun fact Google search.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what ties a lot together. But
let's hear some of those facts.
And this is from, just so everyone knows, this is from the Christian homeschooling network website.
So without further ado, here are fun facts about 9/11.
Yeah, Luke, make sure you put these on screen. Listen to this. Aside from the 2 planes flown into the World Trade Center buildings, a 3rd plane hit the Pentagon, and a 4th plane crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So most people don't know that. Was
it like a memorial field or something? What was the point of that?
I mean,
I get the towers in the Pentagon. I just
it was to send a message. The field had something to do with something presidential, I think.
Okay.
So
yeah. Okay.
And here's actually something.
Also, it was a missile that hit the Pentagon again. I just can't.
Yeah, it's kind of Luke. Make sure you fix that. And also, listen to this fun fact.
Okay.
Cleanup
on aisle 12. Clean up on aisle Main Street.
Ooh.
Okay, clean up on aisle. That's fucked. How
about clean up on aisles 9 and 11? No, Luke, that's not a fun fact. Don't. Okay, well, he put it on screen anyway. Check this out. Cleanup for the 1.8 million tons of debris took 3.1 million hours, and it was finally finished on May 30th, 2002. So I was going to say, dude, like,
how many hours?
3.1 million.
How many hours are in a year?
Yeah, it's not adding up. Wait, okay.
Like, as in, let's say, I think they're doing
per person.
I think if one person put 40 hours between, like within a week, and then another person did 40 hours within a week, they're not just counting, the work of everyone being that 40 minutes. They're going to just say, 40 hours. They're going to add those two up, be 80 hours, and think of all the people that were helping out.
I mean, they had a lot of hours going at the same time, and I'll read one more.
I'm just thinking of like a world where like to clean up the debris, it's just a bunch of like Girl and Boy Scouts trying to get their Eagle badge.
It's hours for their badges.
Like everyone else is like, who can we throw this on?
Volunteer
That's
hours.
A lot of work.
I had to log volunteer hours for like several things I did in high school. So 3.1 million hours, by the way, is 353 years. So
353 years worth of work in one. That's
less than one.
In less than 1 year, yeah.
I was gonna say, dude, like, like right after the towers came down,
the mayor was like, "What a mess!
How are we gonna clean this up?
Yeesh!
Woo!
I leave for 5 seconds, and this is what I have to come home to."
Rudy Giuliani was mayor, so I like imagining him in this kind of like childish, like oversized suit, like yeesh.
It's the meme with Donald Glover coming in with the pizza and the room's on fire.
Yep. Except it's Rudy Giuliani and it's the debris of.
Can someone make that? And
Let's see it.
Yeah, I would like to see that meme. Rudy Giuliani waking up on 9/11.
He actually, he slept through the whole thing.
He's a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, he woke up at about 1 p.m. and went, "What'd I miss?"
Gadzooks! His eyes popped out of his head.
And we got one more final
fun fact.
Would you like to pick it? Would you like
to
just kind of go through these and pick?
Yeah, why not?
Just go ahead and
just
look
any
through
of
that.
them.
Yeah, any of them. They're free reign. There's 20 of them to pick from. Well, 18 because I already did 2 of them. So, see anything that's catching your eye? I'm not going through my photos again, right? Because last time you have a habit of that when I hand you my phone. Find out you are sending yourself photos from my photo gallery.
I'm not doing that again.
Photos that should not be shared, that I didn't intend to share
with me. But
and by the way, those photos I took them literally for medical purposes to show my doctor. So, they're meant for my doctor. Nope. No fun facts?
Okay. Here's one.
Okay.
Here's the final fun fact.
Final fun fact.
Upon the first plane striking Tower 1, people in Tower 2 tried to evacuate but were urged to stay at their desks by an announcement. Some tried to leave anyway, but were turned back by security.
Yikes.
Okay, that's not so fun. Canada took in 255 diverted flights from the United States on 9/11. Upon receiving them, the Canadians fed and the stranded passengers.
Okay.
That's I don't know why they're trying to take all the credit.
Yeah, I feel like that's Canada trying to be like, oh, we're the good guys. This is going to make us look good.
When really it's just more business for them, air travel and stuff, and like the tourists getting to stop by.
They made a lot of money because think about how many people that got diverted into those airports went to the little gift shops and bought trinkets.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, we're in Canada. Might as well buy like a maple leaf keychain. So anyway, we don't want to spend forever talking about the 9/11, but we do have one more surprise for you.
It's a day full of surprises. We warned y'all.
We've got a special little video to play. One that audio listeners will be able to fully enjoy just as much, almost just as much as video watchers.
Oh, I'm sure they're clapping their thighs together in excitement.
Oh, yeah, they're going,
you know, like,
guys.
Hold up. They're doing this.
Oh, careful! You're gonna hurt your kneecaps.
Okay.
That was good though. It's good Foley. It's been a while since he's shown his face. He's been nervous. Really, he has not shown his face in a very long time. You know who I'm talking about?
P. Diddy?
No. Well, he didn't respond to the email.
Oh.
I think he's wrapped up with some other stuff right now. Huh. But, guys, without further ado, an original song.
Original?
Mm-hmm. An original song. Or I was told it was original.
Okay.
He said that he wrote it and produced it himself. An original song by Nathan. Enjoy. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say.
Oh my God.
That was
incredible.
I think that is definitely a positive note to end things on because, I don't want to end the day sad.
Exactly.
They say funerals shouldn't be sad, but a celebration of life. So I want this to be more of a celebration of 9/11 instead of
Well, for some on 9/11, it was a celebration of non-life.
Yeah.
But we're doing the opposite.
Right. We're celebrating the life.
Only those who survived.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
They're brave. They're But
the dead gets enough. You know who doesn't get enough recognition?
The living.
They're the ones still around.
Yeah, they're the ones still around.
Where's their credit?
I don't see it. Fuck, we also didn't after the ad break we didn't talk about what brought down Building 7. I was gonna reveal it, but maybe we'll have to save that for next year's.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go into the. We create a whole we just on the channel itself. There's a long hour long conspiracy documentary that we make.
It's like people go into it thinking that we're doing one of our joke documentaries, and it's just oh, they actually made a full hour-long documentary about Building 7, and there's nothing funny about it.
But it's nothing funny because we're trying to get down to the bottom of the serious question of what happened with Building 7.
We're trying to get a brass tacks here, okay? It's we're trying to figure out, I understand 2 planes hit the 2 towers, but nothing hit Building 7. So why hours later, after the towers fell, did Building 7 collapse in a perfectly straight down as if it was a planned demolition?
Because Building 7, 8, 9.
No! I think we solved it.
Right?
That's pretty good. That's actually very funny.
That's what happened with Building 7.
Yeah.
At 8, 9.
Guys, we finally got to the bottom of Building 7 here on Super Mega Show. Just like you guys got to the bottom of how awesome it is to be a Patreon. That was a bad transition.
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
The names
Patreon supported. Yeah, the names. We got executive producers. We got the regular producers.
These are Patreon producers and executive producers, like you said.
You can go to our Patreon. We have behind the scenes. We have exclusive shows. We have an extended podcast segment that we record after this called the Super Mini Show.
And guess what? You can go to Patreon right when this comes out, and you can see even more of Super Mega's 9/11 special. The stuff that we couldn't say on YouTube.
Yeah,
and you're gonna want to see that one. So every week there's a new episode, and lots of fun stuff. And also, if you sign up to be a podcast producer, you get stickers in the mail every single month with our sticker club. Look at this.
I love stickers.
Multiple stickers every month, unless it's a big sticker. So It's pretty epic. But we love you guys. Thank you for the support. And I don't know, enough about us. I feel like maybe we should end it on a...
We hope all of you have as good of a day as you possibly can.
Acid reflux, or
A little bit.
are you just emotional?
I mean, I had some Pringles.
Okay, I was just making sure you weren't crying, because that would be a bit embarrassing.
No, I mean, the Nathan thing was pretty sentimental, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we were crying, though. We teared up.
Yeah. Well,
Or at least I did.
Men don't cry.
Right, of course. Anyway, guys, thank you, and we'll see you next 9/11. Well, we'll see you next week, but if you're like one of those people that only tunes in or like only goes to church on Christmas and Easter, if you only tune in for the 9/11 special, we'll see you next year. God bless. And a lot of you might have been thinking, like, man, in that episode, they really kept it tame. You know, I thought that, knowing SuperMega, they would go much more, out there.
Watch this. Imagine if the planes were penises and the buildings were vaginas. Nobody would be complaining then.
I know I sure wouldn't.
I'd like to